Namaste everyone. Thank you all for joining Northeast Hindu Yuva's third webinar of our series, Hinduism in the 21st Century. My name is Jannavi Ganesh and I'm the co-coordinator for this series and a rising sophomore at Rutgers University. I'm also the treasurer of Rutgers Hindu Yuva. Hindu Yuva is a student-run, nonprofit, sociocultural organization with a presence in over 35 universities in the United States. Our aim is to practice, promote, and preserve our Hindu Dharma while growing up in the United States. Before I begin introducing our topic and moderator for this evening, I want to thank you all for watching last week's webinar about Hindu classical art forms, which had more than 1,800 viewers within the last 7 days. Throughout tonight's event, viewers watching live on YouTube and Facebook are welcome to comment questions they have about the topic, and we will be choosing unique questions for our moderator to ask our speaker. So, without a further ado, our topic for tonight is Beauty Beyond the Bindi, being moderated by Tanmay Vaddepati. Tanmay Vaddepati is a rising junior at University of Massachusetts Amherst, majoring in public health, minoring in IT, and on a pre-health track. Known for her bubbly personality, she is very involved on campus. Currently, she is the vice president of UMass Hindu Yuva, and she is also part of a South Asian sorority, Kappa Phi Gamma. Growing up, she has always been interested in Indian beauty standards and culture. Thank you, Tanmay, for being our moderator for tonight.
Thank you, Janvi. Namaste, everyone. I am pleased to introduce our speaker for tonight, Sruthi Jayadevan ji. Sruthi ji is a Dallas-based fashion and beauty influencer, and she was born in Saudi Arabia and spent most of her childhood growing up in a small village in Kerala. As her passion for design and fashion grew, Shruthi's career blossomed as she began working with makeup artists and local photographers. Sruthi ji holds an impressive following on Instagram as well as other social media platforms where she showcases her modeling in both Western and traditional Indian fashion. Sruthi ji also uses her social media platform to promote her love for Indian cuisine, Ayurveda and yoga, travel, and the importance of mental health. Thank you, Sruthi ji, for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so honored to be here. This means so much to me to be able to share my perspective on all of these topics. So thank you guys for having me.
We're so excited to have you today. So before we begin, I just wanted to start off with some fun rapid fire questions just so that we can get to quickly know you. Okay, so right now on your Instagram and TikTok, you're doing a series on saris. What is the best way to accessorize a sari?
I guess the best way is definitely with your jewelry. I think the type of jewelry you wear for your sari can change up a look very drastically. So whether that's like temple jewelry or if you want to modernize your sari, you can wear it with a lot of Western jewelry. So I think jewelry is my number one pick.
Awesome. So you cook a lot on your social media and you're from Kerala. What is your favorite South Indian dish to cook?
That's a hard one, but if I had to pick, it would have to be dosha or appam, any of those types of, breakfast foods. Love them.
Great. I love dosas also. So what do you prefer, Malayalam songs or Hindi songs?
Malayalam songs, because that's what I grew up on and they have a piece of my heart. So I always would pick a Malayalam song.
Awesome. So we're going to start talking about your experience in the fashion industry. When did your passion for fashion and beauty blogging begin, and what really led you to pursue this unconventional career?
So I guess if I were to really think about when my journey really started, it was when I was really young, maybe even 6 or 7. I was always into fashion. I often found myself making little, designing little clothes for my Barbie dolls and little things like that. So I've always been into fashion ever since I was a very young girl. So it's always been a part of me, but I never really thought that's something that I could pursue as a career, just because I think in our community, we are kind of taught to go towards certain career fields, right? And even in my community, in my family, it was just very, my whole family, they're in the healthcare field. So it was just assumed that I was going to also do that. So I did go to school and I did do pre-med and did the whole thing while I was in college. I was a business major. So, and I did pre-health and all of that. So I did my whole thing that my family wanted me to do. But towards the end of my college career, I realized I wanted to give myself some time off to kind of pursue what I really wanted, which was fashion. And at the time, I didn't really know how to go about doing that. But social media, of course, is such a great platform to kind of experiment on something that you may be passionate about. So I started off just posting outfit photos here and there. And it really started to pick up once I started posting more of my cultural wear. So I started doing that more often. And this was about 2-3 years ago. And that's when I really started getting into the space of doing a lot of South Asian fashion and showcasing that on Instagram. And it kind of went from there.
Thank you. So what are some of the difficulties you have seen with putting yourself out there and putting your culture out there as a forefront of your artistic choices compared to mainstream types of fashion we would be seeing here in America?
I mean, the biggest thing, of course, is a lot of hate comments, trolling comments. When I first started on Instagram and Twitter, I would get a lot of really negative comments, people just being very hateful and making fun of being Indian or being South Asian. So at first it was very difficult because there weren't a lot of other people doing that in this space. So it did get to me a little bit in the beginning, but I did see how many people that it was inspiring. I saw a lot of young people that reached out and told me, hey, like, because you do this, I feel more comfortable at school. I feel more comfortable being myself. I feel more comfortable wearing a bindi. So hearing messages like that really pushed me to keep going, although there were a lot of roadblocks in the beginning. And of course, even people in my own community weren't very supportive as far as me pursuing this type of career, right? So although it had its roadblocks, I'm the type of person that if I really put my mind to something, if I'm really passionate about something, I will just do it. So I think regardless of the roadblocks that came in the beginning, I kind of pushed through that. And now I see a lot more representation in social media when it comes to South Asian representation. And I'm really, really happy I pushed through all of those roadblocks and kept going.
We do have to pause for just a second. We are experiencing some technical difficulties, so if you could just hold on for 2 minutes, we're just going to fix something and we'll start.